Bin.
Hi guys, welcome to another exciting episode of the Pot of Beans podcast. You guys know how we do it here. My name is Afro Wendy, this life now Pot of Beans. And you see a very handsome man sitting beside me. This is Abayomi, guys. In a minute, you get to know some things or, several things about Abayomi. But right now, Abayomi is a well-traveled person. Let me just tell you that. He's Nigerian, but he's well-traveled. Abayomi, tell us the places you've been to.
You mean in the US or?
Anywhere at all. Maybe in the US, maybe UK, Europe, whatever you've been to. Just.
I've been to Kenya, I've been to Canada, I've been to the UK, and of course, the United States. And I think I've currently been to like 12 states right now.
12 states in the US. Wow, what are they?
Pennsylvania, of course, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Florida, DC,
traveled.
Virginia, Maryland, Texas. I think that's about it.
If we call you Gulliver the Traveler, you go agree. You don't tour US. So
I went to like Miami Beach. I visited the sites where this man was killed, Gianni. And then I went to this aquarium there.
Nice.
I got to see like the dolphin show there, and
it was cool.
And that was like the first time I didn't know. I used to hear that dolphins are actually very intelligent.
Yeah.
But like it was there, I actually got
Confirmed.
to know that they are pretty much very, very intelligent.
Yeah.
And then where else again? Well,
you just went there
and then
to chill out.
Just try to feel food, different.
Miami food or like?
No, like just basically different, but they were pretty much very expensive.
What kind of food was it? Was it like Nigerian food or like food that traditional to Miami?
Not necessarily traditional, but more like continental.
You go continental restaurant.
Just normal thing.
Now you dey enjoy US. Now you dey enjoy US. Nobody enjoy US past you. Abayomi is the one enjoying the US. Abayomi is just story. See, he went to 12 states already. That's huge.
It's grace of
God. They call you tourist. Nothing remaining.
Grace of God.
Anyway, make I tap for the grace. So Abayomi, after this one, you go bless me. Abayomi, person wey don't go 12 states and me. No, Abayomi, we go tap grace for travels, for tourism.
You
Anyway,
get grace.
Abi.
Don't worry.
Okay, so Abayomi has told us, a little bit about his travel escapades, all the things that he's done, and he's a fun guy, What do they do for fun, actually?
They hang
tourism.
out, we hang out,
Okay.
we travel, Basically, that's just it. Right now, it's crazy these days anyway.
Okay.
There's not much fun.
Okay. So not only hang out, if you don't hang out, you don't do anything you do for fun.
Maybe I'm in my house watching movies. Or maybe playing game or something.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's good to know. All right, so we are going to play a game right now, and you're going to complete the lyrics, right? I'm going to give you basically, because Abayomi is a confirmed Nigerian guy. He knows the ins and the outs, and that's why he's here to discuss, several things related to Nigeria with me. But we are going to test his Nigerianness a little bit. So he's going to complete the lyrics to a song. I'm not going to sing the song. I'm just going to state the lyrics, and then you complete it.
Okay.
Fair enough? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us introduce the game Complete the Lyrics. Drum rolls for Abayomi. Okay, so Abayomi, the first lyric you're going to complete is "Girl, if I lap your Soweto."
I lap your Soweto. Come on, see, I don't like go.
Gosh.
The thing about lyrics is if you're not hearing the song,
And you feel sing am for your head. I feel time you. But okay, I'll count. I'll count in my mind 1 to 10.
I don't back on this one.
You don't come at all. Okay, no, okay.
It will only come if
you're the singer.
Like for example, maybe you play the song and then I get like the
beats and everything.
Exactly,
so
it will flow. But like if you just
sing that, you know,
you're asking me exam question. You don't go. You don't come like that.
Okay. All right. Here's the song. Girl, if I balance it. Oh, no, wait, no. Oh, yeah. This is, I said, girl, if I lap your Soweto.
For this something.
Ah! Girl, if I lap your Soweto.
We'll see. Don't worry about music.
Namaforisa. That is Victoni Soweto. Okay, next one. You'll have 0 points. Okay. Next one, and it's out of 5. 2 points each. Next one is I know fit lie, you're not my type.
Who sang that song?
That's okay. I'm giving you hints already, so you cannot fail.
Like which was the exact title of the song? Is it Joha? Is it Terminator?
You want me to give you all the? If I get that, I don't give you answer.
No. If you tell me the song, it will click faster, like more or less. Palazzo, Jiggy.
No. That's not the lyrics I gave you. Is I know fit lie, you're not my type. I don't give you too much hints, so.
I see.
I know feel like you're not my type. If no be God, I for don't die.
See. That music.
Yeah, okay. Make I give you one from the in the beginning of good music. Catch the vibes and get the feelings.
Catch the vibe and get the feeling. That sounds like. Man, this is crazy. This is very embarrassing.
You know, it's even the start of the song. It's easy, and they're not too sing them. You know, they're not be inside song.
The vibe and get
now, it just the surface. Now, surface kind of song.
Can you?
Okay, let me sing it.
Exactly.
Catch the vibes and get the feeling.
And as I be now, catch the vibes and get the feeling. And you go, now two face now, not be two face.
Even after I sing something,
I know some the lyrics.
Catch the vibe and get the feeling.
Now two face.
Tell your man that you are willing. Now tell your man that you're willing.
See, this lyrics.
Abayomi. Now to tighten your seatbelts now, because the next one is also from the beginning of good music. You got a secret, but I think I know it.
Got a secret, and I think I know it. I think you have to say it like.
Okay, make I sing out for you.
Okay.
You got a secret, but I think I know it.
Oh, the band. You got a secret, and I think I know it. You gotta let it out, and I know you are something. Nearly
cannot kill a bird, Abayomi. You try, but you not to try. You know? So I'll give you one.
I think basically, rather than having me... having me completely, you could just ask me, what song is it?
No, because there's a different game for guess which song is this. Who wrote the song and what year?
We just listen to the music. Don't be saying
the lyrics.
Don't be saying with the just the vibe.
Okay, but the last one now. I said 5 in the morning. I said 5 in the morning. I said 5 in the morning.
I know Sabiam.
You don't even try. I said 5 in the morning. I don't take her up for you.
I know Sabiam. Wallahi, I know Sabiam.
Okay, Thames.
Na Thames song.
Yeah. I said 5 in the morning. I wake up at 5.
I know Sabiam.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Cause see wahala. That's Thames. Free my mind. I wake up to 5 in my morning, and my mind is running.
I don't mess up for the lyrics stuff. No, we move.
Yeah, you go get time to redeem yourself. No worry, you will get time to redeem yourself.
Most definitely.
Yeah, most definitely. Okay, you know, it's like there are a lot of things that are happening in Nigeria currently, honestly, and we are getting close, very, very, very close to a determining point for Nigeria. The elections, they are coming, and so today we want to talk a little bit about like the Nigerian election that's coming up. And first, I want to ask you, Abayomi, who do you think? And I hate to start with this question, but it's a question that we have to open up with. Who do you think is likely to win this election?
Let's say this question we asked me, that question we don't.
They loaded. Not loaded question.
That question we if he kill you.
Hypertension. Okay, you know what? We go circle back to this question.
No, I can answer.
Okay, no, wala.
You know, I don't know if you know, but I've more or less been in election situations in Nigeria. Like I've experienced elections. When I mean experience, like I used to be very active politically in Nigeria. So I've experienced elections, especially 2019 election and then 2020 Ondo election. Okay. I was very much let me just
so you get involved.
So I've been involved in the elections.
What did you do during the election? Was it like the campaign? Did you work with a candidate or something?
If I go into details, you may eventually think I'm being biased.
No, but okay, you know what? First, I think that is something we didn't do. We didn't introduce you, and let's introduce you first. You will tell us where you come from Nigeria,
okay,
right? And then you can like use that to delve into how you got involved in politics. So you know what? It's something we didn't do, and we should have done it. Abayomi, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Abayomi Ladapo, and I'm actually from Oyo State.
Oyo.
Ibadan for
now.
But like I grew up and was raised in Accra, Ondo State.
Okay.
My mom is from Lagos anyway.
No.
So, but yeah, I grew up. I had most of my education in Makure.
Okay.
So, why I said maybe that you may actually think I'm biased.
Okay.
Is because of the fact that I was active with like APC, but for this segment and for this interview, I'll be as objective. Like if there's anything more than being objective, I'll be very objective.
Okay.
We're open to that. I'll talk about the pros, the cons, the issues, and of course.
Okay. But so what did you do basically in APC during the 2019 election? Was it were you like campaigning, or like did you serve in like I know maybe your this thing you said is APC, or did you like serve in like the electorate board?
In 2019 I didn't support Buhari.
Okay.
I was supporting Atiku.
Okay. But your governorship candidate was APC?
No, there was not even governorship election that year. The governorship election was now 2020.
Okay.
So what happened was I was supporting Atiku at the time, and I was very much involved in, like, of course I was very much immersed in it. But like a lot of people around me then, they were more or less like family members. They were like APC.
Okay.
They were supporting APC at the time.
Yeah.
But like personally, I had issues with the Buhari government at the time because you know that was when the dollar and all skyrocketed, and you know it was just crazy then. So I didn't support Buhari.
Okay.
So this background I'm giving you is more or less like 2018.
Right.
So like, of course, 2019 came. The election was like February, and I really wanted Atiku to win. Like, trust me, I I was very much in support of Atiku. That time, I think I joined his campaign organization that time. But like, I didn't really do much. But a lot of like my.
So you were like an active supporter of
Atiku.
Okay.
I have a brother-in-law, and then I was also supporting Atiku at the time because he used to work for a senator at the time. So, and of course, the senator is like a PDP senator.
Okay.
So, but it was divided between the family was divided between. We had more APC people than
than PDP. Okay.
But the person I was much close to was APC. You understand? So the fact is, election in Nigeria is very crazy. It's not. It's complicated.
All right.
Very, very complicated. And that 2019 election actually taught me a lot of lessons.
Okay.
In terms of the outlook of what elections are in Nigeria.
All right.
There was hardly nobody liked what Buhari was doing.
All right.
Like it was just crazy at the time. And Nigeria was actually like in a very difficult situation then. Okay. And yeah, that was why I was supporting Atiku, that of course.
All right.
Man could actually.
So you were part of Atiku's campaign organization. You supported him.
Yeah.
You did all of that.
I did all of that.
Okay.
But like when the result came out.
Yeah. you now saw that. Boo Boo was on top. How was the result though in your
Atiku won
in your state? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But like the social media then was all about Atiku then.
Yeah.
Nobody was for Buhari.
Yeah. I mean, there were people.
Yeah, there were, but like it's like 80 to 20.
Everybody expected Atiku to win.
Yeah. I thought Buhari was going to be a one-time president. But like when the election came,
it shocked you.
It shook me. Like I think I was very much emotionally invested in seeing.
Because even as you talk now, so they see the emotion. Be like,
wanted to see a change of government at the time.
Yeah.
But like the thing hits me like
this way they're doing so good.
I think a lot of people will come to that reality probably maybe after this election, maybe, possibly. But like I wouldn't say I was a social media mob, but like if you talk Buhari beside me at that time,
you did vex.
I feel vexed for you.
Aye.
But of course, when the result came out, the reality was just there. Like I think Buhari won with it was like 11.2 million to about 15 million. Especially the north, then you know that there's by the time you see Nigeria on the map, you think it's very small, but
it's large.
It's very big.
It's a large country,
and the social media is like a drop compared to the whole population outlook of the country.
Right.
So that was one of the things I learned. But at the time, the election passed. Yes, it passed. I learned a very hard lesson that number one, you don't put emotions in politics because
it's a game. Because that's what they say. But that game is people's lives. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because it's gonna hit you bad because it doesn't always go
the way you think.
You think it will go, and that is one thing many people will eventually realize after this.
But this one, the way you are talking is like I know where but your analysis is going to find you.
I'll get there. I'll get there.
Okay.
So like that 2019, of course, a lot of us were hustling at the time, trying to
make ends meet.
Try to find meaning for our lives at the time. So I eventually joined the APC because I told you the person I was much closer to was an active APC person.
So let me get this straight. Is it hustle that made you join? Because initially you said you were like emotionally involved with PDP. So was it like
after the
the
election,
hustle that drove you to PDP? Because first of all, the person close to you is there, and then there's more to gain.
The thing is, the ruling party has a lot of power. As a youth, you're trying to get a job, you're trying to, So of course, it's people that are empowered that can help you.
Okay. So that was one of the reasons why.
That was one of the reasons why.
Okay. That's very transparent. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons why I joined the APC, and it was okay. And at the state level, the APC was okay. So I just wasn't. My opinions about the government didn't really change.
Okay.
But like, I was only just doing it more like at the state level, right?
Not the federal level.
Exactly, because my perception about the federal level is still basically the same.
All right.
So eventually the state election was like 2020. So of course, fast forward to 2020 when the state election. So then
Oh wait, so you decamped to APC before the governorship election?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So
after the loss by Atiku, okay.
I didn't support PDP anymore. I knew PDP was done.
Okay.
So in 2020, I was very much active with the APC, and I was more or less appointed to like the committee for student and youth and student mobilization committee for like.
Wait, were you in school then? Like, were you part of like a student organization?
No, as a youth.
Oh, just as a youth.
Youth and student mobilization committee. So the mandate is more or less like trying to get votes from youth and students. Yeah. So I was in the committee at the time for the party for the election, and then it was almost the same. The PDP candidate at the time was like the popular candidate, because I don't think a lot of people wanted the APC, probably because of reservations and some other things.
Okay.
So, and at the end of the day, out of like 18 local government, the PDP only won maybe about 3 or 4 local governments, and then it was like a landslide win for like the APC governor, who is actually still the governor. So then again,
reality.com.
Reality.
Okay. Yeah.
The PDP candidate was, as a youth is like the one you want.
Yeah.
Because man, good looking, he looks
youngish.
He's a very likable person.
Right.
He's someone similar to like Peter Obi. And now, of course, we are fast forward to this current election.
Yeah.
So the question you asked me was, I should give.
Who do you think would win?
Who do I think will win? And that's why a lot of all this information came from. And
background to the study.
That is what they call it. Like I'm trying to make you understand the fact that
the perspective.
Exactly.
Right.
Peter Obi is a very good candidate, like for president.
Okay.
But I'm very much of the opinion that his kind of politics would not sell nationally.
Okay.
Like, if I'm being very honest, his politics is more or less like a politics that Nigeria is very big.
Right.
And it's a country with a very big population, and everybody is all about their own interests. That's the sad reality. And politicians are like the very, very powerful people in Nigeria, right? And anyone who brings the kind of politics that
they don't like,
that exactly
that's foreign and threatening to them,
exactly would not sell.
Okay.
It would take for Peter Obi's kind of politics to sell in Nigeria. Nigeria would be in the technology age. When I mean in the technology age, it means most of the population will have access to technology.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Because the reality is a vast amount of the population of the country is not technologically aware.
Okay. We'll come back to this, but who do you think then? Is it Atiku? Is it Kwankwaso? Is it Tinubu? Since you said, Peter Obi's politics would not fly with like a majority of Nigerians.
So, looking at the trend of things and looking at from experience, most likely Tinubu will win.
Okay. He has said it. He said most likely Tinubu would win. So you think that Tinubu's politics
and
appeals?
And I would give reasons why I said so.
Yes, please.
Number one, every leader always wants to produce a successor.
Okay.
Even though Buhari comes out publicly to say
he doesn't like Tinubu.
Or I don't think he came out publicly to say he doesn't
like it. Yeah. But you could. They usually don't come out to say, "Oh, I don't want this person."
Exactly.
But you could see like the dynamics.
Yeah, the dynamics.
Where even in the campaign,
exactly.
Tinubu is like Buhari,
So the dynamics shows Buhari would want a successor.
Other than Tinubu.
He wants a successor. Not necessarily he wants a successor you can control, but a lot of leaders want a successor they have proximity of power to.
Right, because
it means somebody that if tomorrow they want to go into the Aso Rock, the person would
pave the way.
Like drum roll, president, leader.
Right.
You understand that kind of? Right. They don't want a successor who would be throwing tantrums at them or be insulting them after they're gone.
Right.
They want somebody who will more or less like
they can control,
I wouldn't even say control, but like defend their legacy.
Okay. Someone that's least threatening.
Exactly. So even though his body language shows I would say his body language is showing I am for her. I'm not for only you.
Yeah.
But deep down in his mind, he would still want to be a leader and would still want what other leaders want.
Okay.
And one thing people don't understand is the fact that the APC is a very, very strong party.
Okay.
That's one. And two, their candidate is also a very, very strong person.
Okay.
And I'll give you an explanation to why I have those two.
Okay.
I have those notions. The APC has a very strong base in the north. You can confidently say they have like 3/4 of the north. It is more of a northern party than a southern party. When I mean it is more of a northern party, they have more supporters in the north than in the south.
All right.
That's one.
Okay.
And the north is the north decides a lot of elections in this country. That's one. So two, the candidate they've also picked is not a small candidate regionally. I'm from the southwest and I can tell you.
I mean, yeah, we understand, Tinubu has a lot of influence
exactly
in like, the Yoruba states.
Yeah.
He does.
And is the kind of person that even if to some people, he doesn't even need to talk before they give him a vote.
Oh, is that charismatic?
Is that kind of person.
Yeah.
When I mean is that kind of person, like he has an established voting base. When I mean he has an established voting base, is someone you can compare to Buhari in the north. Buhari probably just needs to wave his hand and then
people vote
for him.
Okay.
Tinubu is the kind of person in the southwest that he doesn't even need to talk. Do you understand that kind of thing?
So he's like the Southwest charismatic leader.
Exactly.
In that sense.
So those are those two premises, and even it would win the Southwest.
Okay.
Very convincingly.
Okay. So I mean, you've already established that the candidate you think would win the election, right, is Tinubu. But I want to ask you now, going off of your question, of your response rather, do you think he is the ideal candidate for Nigeria? Because we all, I think we all would agree that, you mentioned in your first response that, you know, when you voted for Atiku and when you supported Atiku, you wanted to see a better Nigeria because the Buhari government didn't do well. So do you think, right, that since Tinubu is, you know, you made some similar comparisons, you know, Tinubu is like Buhari in the Southwest, do you think that Tinubu is the man that can take Nigeria out of the miry clay?
You know, the question is relative.
Okay.
When I mean is relative, you cannot judge yet.
Okay.
But with the whole election outlook, with what we can see, Peter Obi is a solid candidate, and he's someone that you can see his intentions. His intentions are very clear.
Okay.
But like when
you say his intentions are clear, do you mean like his intentions are good?
Yeah,
like, you know, they will benefit the country.
He is presidential. When I mean he's presidential,
he has the intentions.
He has the charisma. He's communicating.
Yeah.
And you can see the efforts.
Yeah.
But one thing again is, that's why I said it's relative.
Okay.
We've had such a leader like that in the past.
Who was that?
Jonathan. Jonathan is the kind of person that.
So I think it's kind of different. Anyway, yeah.
When I mean we've had a leader like that.
Okay.
A lot of times, outlook does not equate results.
Okay, when you say outlook,
when I mean outlook does not equate result, I mean the fact that people are. I'm not saying he doesn't have good intentions, but I'm saying it is relative in the sense that he may just be talking. I mean,
none of them have been tested yet with
exactly,
the presidency.
Exactly.
So everybody at this point is just talking.
But like I said, if you want to talk about who is more presidential,
okay,
Peter Obi is very presidential.
Peter Obi is presidential,
and he's communicating a lot with the youth, and of course, giving Nigeria hope.
Okay.
So he's presidential, and like I said, we've seen a leader like that.
You said Jonathan. Okay.
Jonathan he told us then that his ambition is not worth the blood of any citizen.
Well, I mean, he did prove it. He didn't really try to contest the results of the election.
Yeah, exactly. But in terms of performance, he arguably ruled Nigeria in the most economic successful period of the country. But I would
okay.
I would give an explanation.
Okay.
He ruled Nigeria in the period with like the biggest oil boom. Nigeria was making a lot of money at the time. But like I said, Jonathan's intentions were good as a leader. You understand? He is the kind of person, he's sellable. You understand? He's the kind of person that can represent well.
Right.
But in terms of his output was not so good, because if his output were to be good, Buhari would not have come on board.
I think you know that a lot of the, in fact, during that time, that was when like the Boko Haram things escalated.
Exactly.
Right? I wouldn't say started,
yes,
but escalated, and it became a big issue. That Chibok girls, it was an international issue. People would argue that it wasn't that his output was bad, right? It was that particular situation, which up till now is unable to be solved, right? So we have to establish that even Buhari that came, that promised, because that was what Nigerians were worried about at that time, the security.
I don't want the situation where I want to compare the two leaders. I don't want to compare them, but like I want to talk about his own period as president. I mean, Jonathan.
Okay.
I don't know. It seems like a long time ago, and a lot of people have forgotten.
It wasn't a long time ago. It was just like what 8 years.
About 8 years ago. So, and it's normal for people to have moved on. But if you try as much as possible to rewind emotions,
okay,
a lot of people were hungry.
A lot of people were angry, especially because of the security, especially not only because of it, but especially
the social media these days was actually similar to the time of Jonathan. Nobody wanted to even hear Jonathan.
Okay,
you understand that kind of thing? Everybody was So the thing is, the social media gives you more or less like an objective outlook of what the country looks like.
Okay.
Do you understand?
All right.
And then on the social media, his popularity was terribly bad. Nobody wanted to hear Jonathan. Okay. And that tells you his approval rating was also very low. And that had to do with the way he handled the economics of the country. Okay. And of course, the security. And you can't entirely blame him for that.
Okay, you know what? I mean, yes, we are drawing parallels between Jonathan and Obi, right? You said we've experienced that kind of leadership with Jonathan, but you're also forgetting how Jonathan came to power.
I'm not saying entirely I'm just saying Obi and Jonathan. Jonathan was probably in his 50s at the time.
But let's get something straight. Jonathan was not as charismatic as Obi is. That's one thing. Because how Jonathan even came, normally Jonathan would not have even come the way Nigerians are wired. Jonathan would not have come into power as a normal contesting candidate. But he came into power because Yar'Adua died, and also there was just this transition
people
for him.
Could
and then after the first term, if you are serving president, after the first term, they are like, give him the chance. He hasn't really proved himself. He was just like the VP.
But one thing is, people could see he's a man of good intentions.
Yes,
he had good intentions.
Yes, but I think though that during that parallel between Obi and Goodluck does not really. I'm
not really comparing. Like I said, Obi has not ruled Nigeria. Right, I'm just talking about outlook now. I'm talking about and
I'm saying based on the outlook, Jonathan is not as charismatic as Obi. Obi is strong-willed, and Obi is charismatic. Like people, he draws followers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Magnetic. Okay, imagine someone like that.
One thing is, the thing is, when Jonathan was campaigning, it seems like a very long time. Also,
okay.
By 2015, when he was campaigning, things were already bad. But he campaigned in 2011.
All right.
And he even won. He won convincingly. When I mean convincingly, it was.
He did campaign and win.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, a lot of people that time were like, "Oh, you know what? Let's give him a chance." Yeah. How many years did he spend as
it was
president? Before the next election, he didn't really spend a lot of time.
It was like 1 year.
Exactly. So people are like, maybe this guy, he has potential.
I'm not comparing Obi.
PDP was the winning party then, so
I'm not dismissing Obi.
Okay.
I'm only just more or less comparing outlook.
All right.
When I mean outlook, of course, you see Obi is presidential.
He is.
Yeah, absolutely. But the I'm just talking about is, number one, we haven't seen him as president. I'm not saying him as president he will end up badly.
Right.
He has good intentions.
Right.
Jonathan also had good intentions.
Okay.
But one thing I'm saying is, a lot of times, outlook doesn't always do the job.
Okay, so I get your point. But I'm trying to make you see my point as well. My point is that Jonathan's outlook is actually not as the same as Obi's outlook. Their intentions might be not the same. It's not even the same. Obi's outlook. Obi is more, like I said, he draws followers, right? Imagine somebody leaving a ruling party to go to another party that didn't even have a chance, right? And then when he went to that party, just because of him, that party now stands a chance of winning the presidency. Imagine someone like that. He is that charismatic, right?
Yeah.
And he like you said, you know,
a lot of people supported PDP in 2019 because of him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that.
Goodluck Jonathan. My point is, Goodluck Jonathan, if not for the fact that his coming into power was a result of the death of Yar'Adua, I do not think that Goodluck Jonathan would have pulled the kind of crowd that Obi is pulling.
You know, then there was no you can't tell because social media and technology are not at the same level. But I mean, are not at the same level. 2010, 2011.
Okay, but I think what you're trying to do you think that Obi's
I'm not saying Obi's followers are social media people.
Okay.
My point is the social media gives you an outlook
of how things might turn out.
How things look.
Okay.
You understand?
All right.
So we cannot judge Jonathan's approval rating.
Mm-hmm.
If Jonathan had contested in this period,
mm-hmm.
there's a very high chance. If he was contesting again, there's a very high chance
he might have won, or he would win. Yeah.
There's a very high chance, not necessarily win, but it would pull
a lot of crowd. Okay. You know, I mean, we've dwelt on.
You get my point.
I do get your point.
So we're in two technological eras.
Okay.
You understand? Right. Technology is getting better access.
Okay.
Than it was 12 years ago when Jonathan ran for election.
Okay. I mean, I get your point 100%, but I think we can move on from this and then talk about something that you said related to you know, because you've answered my question when I asked you, you know, do you think that Tinubu is the right person, you know, based on
I've not even answered.
Okay, fine. Answer that question.
Been delving.
Okay.
When I said is relative.
All right.
It may eventually perform, it may flop.
Okay.
You understand that kind of thing?
Did you read his do you think that his manifesto is up to par?
I didn't read it, but like a lot of just like the other ones, just like.
But you've been hearing on the campaign.
Yeah, I've been hearing.
And there's no. Honestly, there is none of those campaigns that says I will, like, you know, none of them have promise for Nigeria. Is it Agbado? I'm trying to understand. Okay.
What? That's why I talked about relative.
Right.
I don't want to say this so it won't look as if I'm dismissing someone who is talking, who is working. Do you understand?
All right.
But a lot of times, results and it's sometimes easy to talk.
Okay, but I get you. But don't you think that it's when you really care about something, right? When you really care about making something work that isn't working, you would actually promise, right? Because there's something to hold you by. That's the manifesto. That's why, you know, you have, you know, the campaign manifesto. There's something to hold you by. They will say, okay, you know, you said you would do this, but you didn't. If now we want to hold Tinubu now, let's say let's assume, you know, that he wins. I want to hold him and say, this is what you promised us. You know, he can actually say, who promised you?
Yeah. The aspect of his campaign that I have issues with personally is the media, like the fact that he hasn't honored the media
at all.
You understand? That is one issue that I have about him, and of course, some of the things he says, they say is metaphor, right? That's what they say is metaphor.
You that is a supporter. What do you think it is?
I just say I'm supporting. I never said I'm supporting.
No. Okay, you said you were APC. That's your party. His is your party candidate.
But like I said, I'm going to come here and talk objectively.
Okay, but do you think not because you're APC, not because you're APC, but do you think all he's been saying is metaphoric? do you think that the Agbado and the Is he for Gary? Is he, do you think those are, or do you think
personally,
no matter how short you are, you will see this guy?
I think I think he's just a jester, basically. Personally, I just feel he's somebody that makes a lot of jokes. But like,
honestly, I don't think that those things that he said, because he didn't say them jokingly. It's town hall. Can you? No. How is a town hall different from Balabu? It's a joke. Me, imagine if I want to crack a joke with you. If I want to crack a joke with you, I'll come and be like, a town hall different from Balabu. Like, it's not a joke. But he was making a statement, and within that statement, he made that blunder.
You know, we are on here, and I wouldn't want to sound rude, but I will just be diplomatic about it, and I will just categorize it as the fact that I feel he makes a lot of jokes because maybe some of it is some metaphor, right? In the sense that maybe he's
Abayomi, all of us. Wait, Abayomi.
Like Abayomi,
do you have a grandfather?
He's late.
Okay, bless his soul.
Or they're late.
Bless their soul. Did you experience them while growing up?
Well, not really.
Not really. Okay, maybe this point I might not.
Yeah.
You might not relate. But there's joke, and there's joke. You know that when he makes this blunder, even see where he says,
it's a blunder. Yes.
Do you love me?
Yeah.
Go and get your APC.
He makes blunders. Yes, absolutely.
And he makes a lot of them. I do not think they are metaphors. They are what they are, blunders. Yeah,
they're blunders. You can categorize it, but like I said, you can also still categorize some of it. You can categorize it. It's a
He's
metaphor.
Joking. He's trying to make the. I mean, if the one I can say, it's a metaphor is, the one where no matter how short you are, if you look at me, that I might say is a metaphor. The rest, all of them are blunders.
Like I said, I don't want to. We're on here, and I don't want to, I don't want to judge him.
You don't want to make absolute statements. That's fine.
Yeah.
But it's in the spirit of objectivity. Remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like I said, you would just, like I said,
But again, you said he might perform, he might not perform. That is your stand on whether or not he would be a good president for Nigeria.
I'm not going to entirely rule it out.
Okay.
Because in the actual sense, I don't know if there's a difference between his old self and his new. Maybe it's much.
There's nothing.
Sorry.
Okay.
His younger self and
his older self. Okay.
Do you understand?
Right.
In the spirit of being objective, and this has nothing to do with
it. Okay. So now
any favoritism.
Okay.
He did well as
a governor.
Okay.
So that's on
And one thing I would give credit to that he did was, and which we've seen over time, is not someone who works with mediocrity. But I mean, he doesn't work with mediocrity in the sense that he is someone who, if you're qualified, he would give you a chance. And
you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because looking at
we'll come back to this.
I'll give you a reason why I said that. A lot of people he worked with they are when I mean he worked with, even we'll say Ambody is qualified, right? He worked with Ambody.
Okay.
And everybody knew, maybe they had an issue, they did not have an issue. That's notwithstanding. With the fact that the man was qualified and the man got a chance.
Okay.
He worked with him. We talk about Fashola.
Okay, so he works with top people. He works with people that know what they're doing.
Exactly, and this is similar to the administration Nigeria had between 1999 and 2007, where Nigeria produced people like Akinwumi, the president of African Development Bank, Okonjo-Iweala, Frankie Wiki.
Okay.
A lot of all these very, very top people.
Candidates. Okay, you know what? Abayomi, yes. That's on Tinubu, right? I want to actually talk about the other candidates.
Yeah.
And based off and going off of what you said about APC being dominant in the north, right? Yeah. We understand that Tinubu is not your typical northern candidate, right? Because going from previous elections, you have Buhari, you have Yar'Adua that, are northerners. Tinubu is not a northerner.
Yeah.
Now, APC might be dominant in the north, but northerners, a lot of the time, because there was a time when PDP was like the dominant party in the north, right? Before APC, came and blew those away. There's this other party, the Kwankwaso's party, right? NNPP, right? Now, northerners, again, based off of what we've seen with like PDP and APC and how PDP lost its dominance, do you think that something similar might happen in the north with NNPP? Seeing that the only person, Atiku is also from the north, right? Yeah. But you find a lot of the time people from the north kind of do not really attribute that characteristic to him. I think they have reservations about his northern he's basically, but they have reservations about him.
I'll give my honest opinion about NNPP.
Okay, my question is, do you think that there will be a division, right, of votes from the north because of that situation?
So, my honest opinion about NNPP is crowd and no votes. When I mean,
you have to explain that.
When I mean crowd and no votes, Kwankwaso would, if he comes to this area now, he will put a lot of crowd. But the day you tell them to give him votes, you wouldn't see them. And I would liken that to. Okay. I would relate it to the 2019 election.
Okay.
2019 election, Atiku, and some other top northerners were all in the same party.
Okay.
Kwankwaso was, APC got a very convincing amount of votes, even in Kwankwaso's state. And that was in a situation whereby two northern superpowers were in the same party.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? You would expect that, okay, like, you expect there to be competition. But like, a lot of votes that came from that election, the PDP got most of their votes from the south. They got more than half their votes in the south.
Again, because like I mentioned, I do not have reservations about Atiku. I'm not for the life of me understand.
It's not popular with the poor. But
Kwankwaso, on the other hand, is very, very popular. And considering the fact that Tinubu is not even a northerner, so there is no other candidate.
Yeah, I haven't talked about
okay
Tinubu's chances now.
Okay.
I'm only still talking about
Kwankwaso. Okay.
So like I said, Kwankwaso is somebody that will pull crowd. Let me see if I can liken him to any southern politician. Someone like Wiki. Wiki will pull crowd, but if you tell people to give him vote,
you think
they won't give him vote?
You think
they will not give?
You know, Wiki has been governor for.
He's been governor. But when I tell you, people will not give him. People feel he's not presidential.
You mean his presidential ambition, or his?
It's not. People.
He did not win the primary.
If you go and read about the times when he was contesting the primary elections and people's opinion about him, or let me be objective. Okay, no, this person will get votes. I wanted to say Osibanjo, but Osibanjo, people will vote for Osibanjo. But Wiki will pull crowd anyway. But if you put him beside Peter Obi, people will vote Peter Obi.
Well, okay, so
if you put Wike beside Kwankwaso, I don't even want to say Kwankwaso. If you put Wike beside Peter Obi, will beat him. But I'm thinking about another intelligent politician. Okay, let's say Osibanjo. People will vote Osibanjo over Wike.
Okay, so I mean, my question was about Kwankwaso versus Tinubu.
Yeah.
NNPP versus APC.
So for NNPP and APC, personally, the competition in the north is between APC and PDP.
Okay. And not NNPP.
NNPP they'll get a fair share.
Okay.
When I mean like they'll get a fair share, they'll get decent votes.
Okay.
But they would not threaten.
Okay.
Do you understand? And you know, one of the reasons why I feel they won't threaten is the fact that it is also a new party. A lot of these northerners a lot of them, they are programmed to, they've been voting APC for many years. When I mean APC for many years, even though he metamorphosed, they voted CPC years ago, which metamorphosed into APC. They voted APC in 2015. They voted APC in 2019. A convincing amount of governors and rep members are APC. So a lot of them are fine-tuned. They are programmed towards supporting that party. And a lot of the vast majority of northern Nigeria is not as informed as the south. So you understand?
Okay. So you do not think that APC or NNPP would threaten APC's vote in the north?
APC and PDP. I'm talking about.
No, I'm talking about, because again, like I said,
for
APC is like the
APC,
only
APC
strong that like northerner.
Yeah.
In the in contesting the presidency.
Yeah. But I'm telling you,
Atiku is a northerner, but
I'll tell you,
he wouldn't threaten.
He wouldn't threaten.
Okay, that's That's
so
good.
For APC will lose votes. When I mean APC will lose votes, if you want to compare 2019 to 2023 election, there will be a reduction in the amount of votes
they will get. Like,
will get.
You know, they'll be, of course. I think that northern votes will be split, right, between APC, NNPP, and PDP. I think, and even Labour Party.
Then again, we cannot rule out the influence of the governors and
the vice.
No, the governors in the north. You know why?
No, of course. See, I think, of course,
I mentioned one thing. The north is not as technologically advanced as the south. The south, if your governor says vote this person, you as a person who is technologically informed, you've seen everything is done online. You understand that kind of thing? You are more informed to make decisions. But in the north, that is still very much, there's a very high rate of illiteracy and poverty in the north, and with very less technological advancement. A lot of this government, they suppress awareness. When I mean they suppress awareness, you could go to the north now, you may not see a single billboard of Peter Obi. That is determined by the media. The publicity is determined by the state government. The state government can decide that in a state is only open to APC awareness. Do you understand?
Okay.
And a lot of all these people is what they see, right? They would not debate governance with you, right? And another thing will also be due to tribalism, right?
Actually, I think that tribalism is a key factor in Nigerian politics.
Yeah, it's gonna tell.
People vote based off on, is this person from my tribe?
Yeah.
Is this person from my region? Is this person?
It's gonna tell.
Yeah.
It's gonna tell in the reduction of votes APC will get.
Okay.
which would go either to PDP, NNPP. I don't know. I don't really know much about Labour Party standing in the north.
Okay, so I mean, you did an analysis earlier about who you think would win, and you said, you do not think Peter Obi would win because, based off of your experience from the 2019 election and, the situation that happened then, you do not think that is a possibility, right? Now,
again, I want to add to that.
Okay, because I have a question.
His chances in the north.
Okay, his chances in the north is also a situation or a problem for you. So now the thing I want to ask is this. Do you not think, or do you not give credence to the current political or socio-political situation in Nigeria? We are at a point where people are aware that this is a make or mar situation. It's either we are voting to rebuild Nigeria or we are voting to destroy Nigeria. This is like a very critical point.
It's the South that is aware.
No.
Most of the South is aware.
Why would you say so? Because you do know too that, aside that there are people that are also aware in the north. I'm not saying the north is not aware, but I'm talking about in terms of population of awareness. I mean, that is debatable because that has not been based on
advancement.
Okay,
it's obvious when you look at statistics, United Nations statistics. It's so obvious.
Okay, so let's walk based on the assumption, right, that people in Nigeria are aware that this is a critical point in history for Nigeria. That this
I'm not disputing that.
Yeah, the reason why we are here, the reason why we are here, me and you, is because something isn't right with our country.
Exactly.
We understand that when we stay
there,
we understand that when we stay there, we would not get like the same quality of life that we would, and that is why we came here, right? We understand the situation, and people are living in mass, right? People are living. People understand that this is a precarious situation. It's not time for jokes. It's not time to play tribalism, and that's people's, and that is people's gospel. That's people's evangelism. That people should understand that this is no longer party politics. This is no longer tribal politics. This is about competence.
Do
you think that?
I granted the interview to talk based on objectivity, and I have been. I can tell you, I have not been sentimental about any point I've made. I'm saying,
do you think that this factor
I'm going somewhere with what I'm saying.
All right.
The thing is, we as Nigerians, the question is, are we even ready? That is one question.
Are we ready for?
When I mean, are we ready? Like, I'm of the opinion that a lot of us don't, we're not serious. When I mean we're not serious, like the same people who want good governance, who cry every day that they want good governance. On election day, you see them selling their votes, right?
Okay.
Do you understand?
All right.
So that's a very, very serious issue that we are facing. It's enough to come online for you to, like I said, I've experienced election situations, and then on election day you see people say that you collected 5,000 or is the party that gives him money
that they will
vote. And you see this person a day before, he's saying the government is bad, the government is this. Do you understand? So that's why I said, are we even ready? Yes, we are at the crossroad.
Yeah.
But like I said, a lot of I don't see much difference from
the previous years with now.
Previous years,
because this is
you can already speak for yourself. You may want to see change, but the question is, another person, you don't know what's in his mind, right?
Agreed.
But what is obvious is we all want change. Do you understand? But the question is, are we ready to fight for change? Do you understand? Are we ready to put in the work for a change? Right?
Okay.
You can only talk for yourself. If I were to talk about myself, which I know is, yes, I want to see Nigeria be a country like that is living to the promises, right? I want to see in Nigeria
you want to be
proud. Exactly. Do you understand? But I don't know if, I'm not saying, well, let me use you as an, I don't know if you share that same passion as me.
I do actually. So, I am very passionate about Nigeria. Let me just tell you, I'm even wearing green, white, green as you people don't know why I'm even wearing this outfit.
So, like I said, a lot of us can only speak for ourselves.
Right.
So, if you come and you just say, it's obvious we all have reached a crossroad. Trust me, you can only speak for yourself. Some people like the old order. When I mean they like the old order, they like the fact that they can line up on the road, and when the politician pass, Oga, this one, that one. Do you understand that? They are okay with that.
I understand. I understand.
Do you get the point? Do you get the point?
Yes.
But for me,
you can't speak for any other person.
For me, I don't want a Nigeria like that.
Okay, but do you think that we will ever reach the point where we collectively decide? Because I think that this is supposed to be the time when collectively we say we want good governance.
We will get there, but a lot of it would be down to how advanced we are. Do you understand? Like I said, a vast number of Nigeria's population is still illiterate.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I do.
There is a lot of poverty. Is it the man who is on the streets working, maybe with all due respect, maybe as a bricklayer, who is not so informed? You understand that kind of thing? Or, with all due respect to these people, it's not in advanced countries. Fine. It's the difference is clear. Like, the level of advancement is clear. Do you understand that kind of thing? But like, we have not reached that point.
That point, okay.
And when we reach that point, and of course, when nature takes its course on a lot of those who have put us in this situation, when they get old and they die, and then the new crops of people who are much technologically advanced, maybe people like you and me, you understand that kind of thing, that the average youth these days is technologically advanced.
But they are training, which is something that surprises me, right? Sometimes.
Let me tell you something. You don't know is, you as a person, forget the fact that maybe you're Igbo. You as a person, you may really want Peter Obi. I'm just saying, for example. But have you seen a situation whereby maybe your dad or your mom has other candidates you want, and then you are sitting down and trying to convince them of why you want to vote for this person, and they are just not seeing it?
I mean, you have been in that situation, because you told me you've been in that situation.
Yeah.
You wanted Atiku, and I understand.
You understand?
People have different expectations and realities.
Time is time. Time is.
You think it's generational as well.
Yes.
That older people would want like the old, those things.
Yeah,
they don't want, like,
that's what they've seen all their life.
Yeah, and they're afraid of change. And I think that is one of the things with Nigeria too. Following like the old order, because that's what you're familiar with.
That is what we are familiar with. So, like I said, a lot of it, let me tell you something. A lot of the people that want, one of the reasons why I said Peter Obi's candidacy will not sell, does not really sell nationally, is the fact that people can see his intentions. But trust me, they will still go with what they are used to. They will still go with what is in their mind. Someone who is on the street that is selling agbado, and she would probably tell you he's just bluffing. You understand that kind of thing? And then
the funny thing,
she will vote what she's used to.
I actually saw a video, and it was really troubling. I saw a video where somebody, a content creator, was going around asking people have you gotten your PVC? Have you gotten your PVC? You know where you go to the supermarket and you ask the youngins there, oh, have you gotten your PVC? All of them that he asked in that video in the supermarket,
that's what I'm telling you,
they did not get their PVC. Then he went to the market. He showed scenes where he asked the market women, show me your PVC. Have you gotten your PVC? I think he told them, have you gotten your PVC? I'll give you 5K. All true, even in the supermarket. When he went to the market, all the women there brought out their PVC.
That's the thing.
To show him. And so it creates like this, it's troubling because we know that this is the demographic that is likely to vote this person, and this is the demographic that's likely to vote this other person. And the demographic that's likely to vote the candidate that we all agree would bring the change necessary for Nigeria don't really have their PVC.
I would give you another point of how disadvantaged Peter Obi is again. So yeah, now I've talked about the older generation.
But before you talk about disadvantage, I do think personally, that there's a chance.
See, just listen to what I have to say. I talked about the older generation now, about the fact that they'll probably go with what they are used to. You understand? There's a very, I feel strongly the strike last year that lasted for 9 months as political, it was politically motivated.
Okay.
You know why?
Why?
When the strike happened in February, it was getting to like the political season. A lot of students had to go back home. They went back to their houses. That was when the awareness for PVC started. And a lot of them, they took that anger and went to get their PVC. Right now, election is going to happen, and students are back in school. For example, a student that lives in Enugu and goes to school in Lagos, how is she going to vote?
They'll feel, it's too much work to travel back.
And the population of students registered voters is 26 million. How, you as a parent, you have a child that you live in Enugu, your ward schools in Ibadan or Lagos, would you tell the child to come home to come and vote? Knowing fully well the bandits, all the issues around security. So in that situation, a student that registered in Enugu and now in Lagos for school, trust me, there are millions of students that will not vote and youth that will not vote. A lot of that population are also serving. They live in Ibadan. They are serving in Abuja. Trust me, you wouldn't see a lot of traveling.
Okay, I get your point, 100%. It may be. That is one. Like I said, I was going to talk about the fact that some things look like an advantage, but they are actually disadvantages.
They are actually disadvantages.
Okay, so I also want to talk a little bit.
And I think it's politically motivated. It's a strategy.
Yeah, probably that's a possibility. You can't rule that out. That's a possibility. It's quite obvious. It's kind of. Oh, but I want to talk about something you mentioned just now, and then we'll wrap up from there. Is the security? We talked about like banditry and everything. In fact, I have there are several things to discuss about the election and everything, but this part is two parts. Security is in two parts. The first part is which candidate amongst Kwankwaso, Atiku, Tinubu, and Peter Obi, that's the first question. Who is more likely to kind of bring an end to insecurity? That's the first part of the question. The second part of the question is, do you think that the issue of insecurity would prevent people from voting? Because historically, during elections, you have all of these bandits coming out. You have all of these thugs coming out to threaten people in order to like get votes for their preferred candidates.
This election will be very violent.
Okay, why do you say so?
Because
it's not a very good prediction to make, but why do you say so?
It's not. I'm not talking for a fact, but I'm talking based on the dynamics. Because a lot of times politicians profit from election violence because it suppresses voters.
They do.
And
who is more likely, do you think? Which party is more likely?
I don't want to make. I don't want to make assumptions.
No. You made an assertion that it's going to be very. So which? Don't just say one party. Which parties do you think are most likely to perpetrate such violence?
The stronger parties.
Which are?
The stronger parties.
Which are?
Like I said, the stronger parties.
Okay.
They have the resources to create a lot of violence.
All right.
So, in terms of ending insecurity, you know, with the complexity of Nigeria, I don't think a southerner can end insecurity in Nigeria.
With that assertion, the only northerner or the only northerners are Atiku and Kwankwaso. So do you think Tinubu and Peter Obi don't stand a chance to end insecurity?
They can't.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of it has to do with regional interest.
Okay.
When I mean the regional interest, a lot of them, they want relevance, right? And a lot of it has to do with poverty also. So yeah, because my fellow Kingsman or my fellow Northerner is in power, I'm going to try to destroy things so that he can negotiate with me, right?
Okay.
But trust me, if a Southerner, when a Southerner is in power, insecurity is there to frustrate their effort in governance.
Okay.
But when a Northerner is there, it's
a negotiating power.
It's a negotiating power.
Okay.
But when the Southerner is there, we want to embarrass you.
Okay.
You understand that kind of thing?
Okay.
That is.
So what do you say now to the insecurity that's creeping? Because we actually did talk about this, before we started. What would you say now is the intent of the insecurity that is creeping in the South?
The South, a lot of the insecurity is in the Southeast.
Yeah, so like,
but Peter may be able to handle that if he's president, but I doubt his chances of being able to handle insecurity in the North, because if he eventually comes into power, he's going to upset a lot of pre-existing balance in the political sphere of Nigeria.
Right.
And trust me, a lot of those power that be would go back and want to embarrass the government.
Okay.
So there is a possibility that insecurity may get heightened, but that's now
in order to frustrate his efforts.
Yes.
If he is okay.
And that is now where you now test his resolve as a leader.
Okay.
But trust me, if he eventually becomes president, it's not gonna be so easy. But
we all agree.
It's not going to be a quick fix.
We all agree. You know the funny thing, when he started his campaign, I was looking at him, just recently, and I was like, oh my God, this guy aged 5 years. Within just the space of how many months, with all of the
but for like the Southeast issues, it may just be like he has said. He talked about negotiation. That call them, ask them, why are you doing this? You understand that? He may be able to handle it.
Okay.
Since he's maybe son of the soil.
Okay. So how about Tinubu? Why? How do you think he's going to be successful in handling the insecurity?
I'm not confident
that he would do that.
I'm not confident in it, but he seems to have a better rapport with the Northerners. When I mean he has a better rapport, obviously, a lot of this in this campaign season, you can see his relationship with the Northerners.
Right.
people even speculate that a lot of his support is coming from the north rather than the.
I mean, I did see a video, and I'm sure we all saw. Maybe you all actually saw that video as well, where he was in negotiations with them, and then he pulled something out from.
I saw it.
That's a good negotiating power.
I don't know about it, but like I said, he has a better relationship with the northerners. He may not be able to handle what's in the southeast, because if he eventually becomes president, the southeast will feel more aggrieved because about his coming to power. But you know, and I'll give you a reason why.
With like the insecurity in the south is that they say not to be part of the Nigerian politics. Like they say not to be part of the, like, you know, you know how
they want independence.
Yeah, not like you know how you expect. Okay, let's play the tribal card now, where people will say, well, this is an Igbo candidate, you should support him, and then they are like, he's contesting for Nigeria, we are not supporting him.
Like I said, I saw a video that, I don't know, maybe it was Simon Ekpa. He said Biafra land should prepare that 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 28th, that
no election.
They don't want to hear about any election. So that's one of the premises that I said. That I said the election will be very violent. Trust me, people would not agree, because they would want to push for Obi to be successsul.
But do you think that if he holds negotiations with them before, that there might be a concession? If not just him, like if the federal government,
what is happening in the southeast is because of the fact that people are not, the southeasterners have not been included in the
process,
in the governance of the country. Like now, the last time we had a southeastern president was in the 1960s.
I mean, some people say
it's not,
but good. Actually, good. There hasn't been like in like the process of election, right?
No, Jonathan is south.
It's south, but like some people argue that, oh well, Goodluck Jonathan and they don't call it south. They say, oh, he's from the east.
It's not. I don't think he's not. He's
actually, because people are for like Igbo, like they say.
Yeah, that's why I said. That's why I said if Peter Obi wins, the southeast may
calm down.
But
in order for him to win, there has to be an election. How would he win without an election?
That's the question you should ask. The people sponsoring IPOB.
Anyways, well, it's a very critical matter, and I do hope that they're able to
trust
solve
me,
it. Yeah.
even when he wins and the South gets calm, we don't know if insecurity will spring up in Southwest, and then
I do not think Southwest. I think maybe
North,
maybe North, but I do hope that, you know, he will have things under control before that. I do hope that he wins, actually. But let me ask you this question, and then we'll just wrap up. Who would you... I mean, of course, Nigerians in diaspora are not allowed to vote, but if you were to vote, who would you cast your vote for?
That's personal. I wouldn't. Don't worry. That's
not something you want to answer on screen.
I want to answer on screen.
Okay.
That's something that is personal to me.
Okay.
It's between me and the ballot box.
You see how I say, don't trust people, don't trust Nigerians. Me and you will finish all this talk now. At the end of the day, you go and do.
No, I cannot. I won't. I can't. I'm not going to publicly say who I'm going to vote for.
Okay. I mean, that's your power, yeah, so you shouldn't give it away. Even if you don't have to say it.
But like I said, all of them, all the candidates, all of them are all starting at one point. There is no there's nothing that confirms that this person would flop
or this person would
perform.
I mean, none of them have been president before.
Get so,
and Nigerians Nigerians have
all of them. All of them,
if you flop, they still want to vote.
Like I said, all of them are starting at a point. So that one is now left to whatever policies they make,
right?
Whatever people they put in key positions. But one thing I would say is, much of the failures of this present administration has to do with the appointment
of people in positions.
Appointment of people in positions. Some ministries have performed well, and some have performed terribly bad. You understand? And a lot of it has to do with the kind of people who are overseeing those ministries.
Okay.
So
that's very interesting. That's a very
so a lot of them, their successes depend on, they are all starting at a point. If Tinubu gets there tomorrow, if he likes, he should go and be nepotic about his appointments and not pick based on capacity. Or Peter Obi gets there tomorrow and then decides to be sloppy about putting in the right. It can't be everywhere. Trust me.
I do think though that Peter Obi is one person that, because based on his record as governor, you can only speak for yourself. But based on his I think he's someone who is strong-willed. I think so. I think that's what he
appears to be.
Okay, strong. He appears to be. Even Buhari appears to be.
Yeah, everybody said Buhari was no nonsense.
We were so shocked.
So, like I said, a lot of times you can't speak for people.
Right. That's true.
Especially politicians.
That's true. So
one of the take homes is the fact that emotions and politics, they don't mix, right? And a lot of times you can only speak for yourself. You cannot speak for politicians.
Okay.
So
that's good to know. Well, thank you so much, Abayomi. We've talked at length, and there are several other things that we would have covered today, but this is a topic that is vast. You can't really cover it in a day. It's such a very broad topic and a critical one at that. And I thank Abayomi for being a very good guest and coming on this show to talk about this topic with me. Abayomi, how has been your experience?
Well, it's dicey. These topics are very, very, very
and
very
kind
complicated.
Yeah,
and that's why I said it's dicey.
There are always gray areas. It's not always white and black.
And it's complicated. That's one thing that people need to know.
It is complicated.
And it's really tough.
Serious.
It's tough.
Very serious.
I'm very tough.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for sticking with me. This is the Pot of Beans podcast again, where we talk about life issues, societal issues, and we share ideas and opinions about the best ways to live life and whatnot. Remember, our life na pot of beans. Chop and mess. Nothing today this life, so take them jet, take them easy. Not to stress yourself. Abayomi has been a wonderful guest, like I said. And Abayomi is actually
I've been very, very, very objective.
Objective. He has been saying that right from the beginning that this is his objective self talking, and we appreciate
I'm
that.
not going to critical issues like this.
You don't let emotions come in the way.
No.
That's good to know. Well, thank you guys so much for listening, and please do share this episode. This is a very important episode, and I do hope that you share it out. Get your friends to share as well. Comment if you can. Just and if you have sponsorship and advert placements, we are not immune to that. Please bring them to the table. It will be very nice to help promote your business to a very wide and diverse audience. Thank you so much, guys. Abayomi, do you have any last words? I mean, not last words, as per you are dying, but it's just do you have anything to say before we
go? People should go and get their PVC.
Go and get your and go and vote.
Vote, of course.
It's too bad that we can't do that, and I do
vote and they should vote their conscience. That's the most important thing.
Yes, please.
Vote
the best.
Who
represents Nigeria? Exactly. Please.
If you feel it is Peter Obi that best represents the interest of Nigeria, vote for him. If you feel it's Tinubu, vote for him. If you feel it's Kwankwaso, vote for him. And if you feel it's Atiku, vote for him. Yeah. And if you feel it's Showore, vote for him.
Yeah, I do hope that there will be a time where
I'm not campaigning for
anyone.
Anyone.
Okay, but I do hope that there'll be a time where diasporans are allowed to vote. I hope so, for the for the good of the country and for the good of everyone. Well, guys, thank you. It's been such an amazing time with you guys. Until we meet again with another fantastic topic. This has been the Pot of Beans podcast. Again, do not forget, and follow the Pot of Beans podcast on Instagram. Is at the Pot of Beans podcast. Follow the YouTube channel as well, and watch this episode on Spotify. You can listen as well if that's your forte, whatever speaks to you. Well, thank you so much, and do have a fantastic time.
Thank you.
Bye bye.